Okay guys, so today we are going to review over multiplying and dividing fractions. We know that you guys have done this before in 5th and 6th grade, but it is a skill that you need to have a strong foundation in to be successful in 7th grade, which is why we're taking the time to review it. So, multiplying. I personally like multiplying and dividing. I think it's way easier than adding and subtracting fractions because you do not have to have a common denominator. So when we multiply fractions, we can multiply with any denominator, so we don't have to do the extra step of making sure that those are the same. So you multiply straight across the numerator, multiply straight across the denominator, and then you simplify if possible. We have uploaded a copy of the divisibility rules for you guys. That way you know if it can be simplified. I know myself, I sometimes have to refer to those to make sure something can be simplified. So please use those as a resource if you are having a hard time figuring out if something can be simplified or not. So in this example, we have 1/4 times 5/3. And remember, again, like I said, we do not have to have the same denominator. So that's why I really like multiplying fractions instead, because you just multiply straight across the top, and then you multiply straight across the bottom, and then simplify. So the first one, we multiply our two numerators together, and we get 1 times 5, which is 5. And then we do 4 times 3, which is 12. And then you can't simplify that anymore because 5 does not go into 12 evenly, and you get your answer of 5/12. And that's it. It's that easy. Dividing fractions is just as simple as multiplying them, because when you're dividing fractions, you're really in the end going to end up multiplying them together. So we can divide fractions by rewriting it as a multiplication problem. So the first fraction stays the same, so we're going to keep our 1/6 the way it is, and then the division changes to multiplication, and then you flip, or the fancy word is take the reciprocal, which just means the opposite of the second fraction. And then you follow the rules that we just did for multiplying. So for example, what we're going to be doing is we're going to keep this one. We're going to change our division to multiplication, and then you're going to flip the 8/11ths to be 11/8ths. So it should look like 1/6 times 11/8ths. And then you multiply again, straight across the top, straight across the bottom. So we do 1 times 11, which is just 11, and then 6 times 8, which is 48. And since 11 doesn't go into 48 evenly, this is our answer. You get 11/48. So much easier, in my opinion, than adding or subtracting because we do not need a common denominator. So now we're going to give you guys a chance to practice. Okay, so the first one you guys are going to practice on your own is going to be 3/7 times 1/6. And like the video from yesterday, you guys are going to pause, work the problem, and then tell us what solution you got and check to see if your solution matches our solution. So go ahead and pause the video and try it for yourself now. Okay, so remember, straight across the top, straight across the bottom. So when you multiply those, you get 3/42, and both of those can be evenly divided by 3, so make sure you simplify it. If you put that the answer was 3/42, that's good. That means that you get the idea. You just have to remember to simplify it. And again, I put those divisibility rules in Canvas to kind of help you. It could be good to have them pulled up while you're working or practicing to see and make sure that your fraction is in simplest form. So I knew that 42 was divisible by 3 because if you add 4 plus 2, you get 6. And since 6 is divisible by 3, then I knew 42 could be divisible by 3. I'm telling you, really check those rules. They'll help you guys out a lot. So then you get 1/14 as your final answer once it's simplified. Okay, so now you guys are going to have the opportunity to practice a division problem on your own. So you're going to do 5/8 divided by 3/10. Make sure, if you forgot already how to divide, go back to previously in this video and watch the instructions again if you forgot. If not, go ahead and pause the video now so that way you can practice and submit your answer. Okay, so this one was a little bit trickier just because you had to change your fraction back to a mixed number, and I know we haven't touched on that yet this year. So if you didn't get it to be 2 and 2/24 or 2 and 1/12, that's perfectly okay. If you at least got 50 over 24, that's perfect. You guys are on the right track. You're doing awesome. So just a quick refresher on how to change it to a mixed number is you take your denominator, which is 24, so here, and then that becomes the number outside of your house when you're dividing, and you're going to take your numerator, which is 50, and put it inside your house. So that's how I got this 50 divided by 24, and then 24 goes into 50 2 times. So I put this 2 on top of my house, and then it goes outside right here. And then when I subtract it, I get a remainder of 2. So that becomes my new numerator. So this down here, once I do 50 minus 48, we have 2. So that's my numerator that I have over here. And then my denominator of 24 is just going to stay the same denominator there. So that's how I got 2 and 2/24. And then 2/24 can be both divided by 2, and that's how I got 2 and 1/12. Again, as long as you got the 50 over 24, you are doing awesome. You are on the right track. So that is multiplying and dividing fractions. Again, we're going to be doing more practice on this in class tomorrow. So please feel free to come to class with your questions. We are more than happy to help you with any thing that you have, and we look forward to a great class with you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.